everybody to welcome everybody to the August meeting of the Stockton Astronomical Society. It's good to see everyone both here in person and on Zoom. So this evening we're pretty straightforward. We've got announcements about just a little bit of club business, and then we've got a really nice movie. I'll let Doug introduce it. We're going to have the opportunity to pause the movie a couple of different times throughout the movie and talk about the content, answer questions, or hypothesize the answers. Or okay, first of all, announcements. You can see the August dates here, and I put August 3rd, even though it's in the past, because that was just last Saturday night, because members of our club went up to Peddler Hill and had a really good time. And I think Casey's going to give us a little.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not sharing the announcements. I started recording, but I didn't share. I'm sorry. One second.
We'll excuse you, Eric.
This time, just don't let it happen again.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
You guys can see the slide now for the announcements. So yeah, Casey, tell us what you guys did.
Do I get the microphone? Do I?
Yeah, you can sit there. Or
Okay, I'll sit there.
this way people on Zoom can hear you.
If it's okay. So that picture up there that's from that night, right, Eric?
That one of mine is from that night. Yes.
Yes. So that's his picture that I almost ruined by walking through with my red headlamp. You're welcome. That was my first real star party, so I don't know how to behave. This might happen again at some point. So I'm learning. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us there. There's Bill setting up his scope. That was the first time he set it up since his accident at Oak Grove Park and breaking his hand. That he just got the release from the doctor, so he's putting it together. And apparently, a little on the side, when he fell, 2 pieces of that telescope were in his hands and they hit the ground when his face hit the ground. And he hadn't looked at it yet. So this is the first night he used it.
Oh,
So he put it together and was grateful that everything was working beautifully. And it was working beautifully. It was incredible. So Bill met us up there, and then Eric came, and a guy responded named David online, and he showed up. And then Colin, his nephew, showed up. And so there were, like I said, 6 of us, and it was an incredible, beautiful night. The skies were incredible, and the weather was amazing. And even though there were all those fires, there was hardly any smoke in the air. I mean, I didn't see any smoke in the air, but it just seemed really great. And it was maybe a tiny breeze periodically, but nothing that got in the way of anything. And so Eric was imaging and Bill was finding stuff, and I was being frustrated. I took the telescope that I've borrowed from the club and had that set up, and I would just look around to see what other people were setting it up on, and then I would go try to find that, because that's how I roll right now. And wasn't always successful. That Eric was very helpful, though. He would say, no, I was asking Casey if she could get that in the scope. When Bill goes, I've got it over here. Like, and you know what? It didn't look the same in my scope. Go figure. So anyway, I went there to try to see beautiful skies, look through the telescope, and to try to image, and I'm brand new at it. So it was a failure, but it was my first time and a learning experience. But Doug and I are discussing this, and we believe that we have to find an actual person or class that specializes in astrophotography, and they will teach us, and they'll take us by the hand and walk us through it all the way from beginning to end, which I know it's on YouTube, because I spend my entire life on YouTube now watching every single video. Ask Rich. I don't have a life anymore. That's all I do. And I still cannot do it. So anyway, but the night was beautiful, and there were some other campers there, far away-ish. They did come through sometimes with motorcycles and lights and stuff. But that was okay.
they're pretty loud too.
They were very loud. And then some of my images, my Milky Way images had their light in them because it was right on the horizon where I was. And so that's a tree up there, that black part, that's the Milky Way above.
Black hole.
Yeah.
It's a dark nebula.
Yeah. So that is one of my images. So stuff did come out. Oh, wait, Doug is showing me astronomy for dummies. Yeah. So that's overhead. The other ones are at the horizon right there where, and that's, see the guys on the right, those are the people, their lights were on the whole time. That was Scorpius and Sagittarius. Actually, Sagittarius is in there somewhere. I think Scorpius might have already set. Yes, yes. So it hits that. And that's when I was like so frustrated. I just went, I'm just going to start taking pictures of stuff. So that's when I switched lenses and went to the wide angle and just did that. So
I'm sorry, what were you using?
this just my Canon 5D Mark III, and that was a 18. Shoot, I can't remember, Rokinon, maybe 24 millimeter. But previously I had a 100 millimeter Canon lens I was trying to make work. And I did try Andromeda. It's frightening looking. So I didn't even want to share my failure because I know people here have these great things. So I just can't do it. Anyway, we had a great time, and we're going to talk about an upcoming, okay, that's the one. So that's different because we're right next to a highway. And so the car headlights somehow, we can't figure out how, because you don't see the cars when they go by, but the car headlights hit that hill just when I was taking that image. And so it made that interesting color. And then the last one is,
It actually looks good though.
it's pretty. Yeah, it's really interesting looking. It's
So there was a volcanic eruption.
exactly. I planned this actually for hours. I
Right.
sat
Right.
2 second, 2 second exposure. And then that's just, so I cropped it, I guess, or their lights were finally turned off, but I don't recall their lights ever being turned off. So anyway, those are all kind of in a similar place. So that's what I got. Those are the only ones I'm going to show you out of the 300 shots. Maybe 100. I don't know. Anyway, but here we go.
Sounds like you guys had a great time. How late did you stay?
1:30. Oh, sorry.
I don't-
1:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we started packing up at 1:30.
Yeah.
David, I don't know when he left. 'Cause we left.
Oh, was he going to spend the night? We probably would.
I don't know. I informed him that we were in.
Yeah, he was
It
imminent.
looked like he was still working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he had no intentions of leaving.
So we did leave one man behind.
Did anybody learn how he learned about the event?
But
He said he's been before. I don't really remember him, but maybe he's come up to a past potluck, housing potluck.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he was from Mountain View.
yeah, he's from Mountain View. Bill was talking to him though, and then Bill said, I think I remember being at a place with you. So, but he must have been on the Google groups.
He's in our Google group
Yeah.
chat.
So that's how I heard about it.
Okay, well, thanks, Casey. It sounds like you guys had a great time. Sorry I missed it. Okay, this Saturday night, astronomy in the park out at Oak Grove Park. Volunteers always need it. So who here's planning on going out?
I'm planning on being there. I did get a message from a lady saying that she has a new Skywatcher 10-inch, but it sounds like they might be having collimation issues. So I invited her out. She said she'd be there. So I should be there with her 10-inch.
Did you tell her to get there early?
I told her I would get there half hour before sunset.
Yeah. And Doug, you'll send out an email reminder to get volunteers to.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow.
Okay, and then the 24th, Highway 4, and August 31st, another high altitude star party. And you see, we've got this labeled as potluck with a question mark. Same for September 28th, high altitude star party with a potluck question mark. So we had, back in June, we'd had to identified, I think, 4 different dates that we could have the high altitude potluck. And as we're going through the summer now, we're eliminating some of those dates. We're down to 2. And so we should probably pinpoint which ones we want to focus on and get some organization going towards that. So discussion here, who's open to August 31st? You guys are, okay.
But if there's more for the other one, of course.
I cannot attend the 31st, but I encourage you folks to go. And then anybody interested in September 28th,
Do that one.
that one also, okay. So what I might suggest from these results is that we go ahead and plan on August 31st. And if for some reason it's cloudy, it's smoky, for whatever event it gets canceled, then you've always got September 28th as the go-to. And I guess you could always also maybe go to, no, I was thinking there's another Highway 4 party in September, but the way the moon lines up and the dates, there's not a Highway 4 party in September. So if you guys are all in agreement or kind of that same thinking about August 31st being the high altitude party, then, you know, jot that on your calendar. Again, I won't be here. Can I have somebody raise their hand as the quasi chairman or the host of the event to kind of organize everybody, at least send the emails out?
I guess I'll do it.
Doug, excellent, yeah. The logistics we were talking about earlier, Jerry, we need the paper goods.
Yes, I'll have to hand those off.
Do you
if
have-
I'm traveling on both
Do you know
those
where
days.
the porta potty is?
Do I know where it is?
Yeah.
I
I
thought,
think you gave it to me.
I thought it was at your
All right.
place.
I'll look. I thought I wasn't there the last time.
Or somebody also check with Bill, because last year at Peddler Hill, he had it.
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah,
when we were cleaning out the closet at UOP, I don't think we would have left that behind.
No, no, we wouldn't have. And I just don't remember seeing it at the shop, but it could be there.
yeah, and I don't think we've used it since last
No.
year, so. Okay, great. Again, August 31st, high altitude potluck. Should be a good time. And then, as usual, we would try to go to Peddler Hill with the heliport being a backup if necessary. So. Good. Okay, and then we move on into September. We've got a really good program. You know, it's been 2 years since James Webb launched. I think it was in June. Its 2-year anniversary of first light. So we've been wanting to get an update. And so I was talking and searching for somebody to do an update. Our dear old friend, Michael Warzika from Sacramento, told me that he's given a talk about James Webb multiple times recently because he's a NASA solar ambassador. So he's got a program and he's going to update it with the latest photos and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that presentation in September. Again, September 7th, Astronomy in the Park. And it's around this time we might be going back to Delta College. I'm sure you'll be in touch with
Yeah, I've contacted Yatsik
Yatsik.
and he basically asked me for the dates for this fall and into the winter, and then I haven't heard back from him. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Please let me know as soon as you know, so I can
Okay.
put it in the calendar.
Yeah,
Because I'm leaving towards the end of the month. I'm gonna get my stuff to Rebecca fairly soon.
sounds good.
So the astronomy in the park, it's on the first Saturday then in September instead of the second?
Yeah, it will be September 7th. Astronomy in the Park.
Okay, not, because it's usually the second Saturday.
First quarter.
It's first quarter,
Oh, it's the moon.
yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah, we're like, you know,
by that month.
right.
Your reasoning.
You talk to the solar system about that.
No, we're an ancient society. We go with the lunar calendar.
Sorry.
Okay,
There's always something.
good. Any questions or about the August, September dates coming up? And Eric's got photo credits for the Cocoon Nebula photo he took up at Peddler Hill. Eric, any comments you want to make about your photo?
I'm trying to think of what can be said about it. It's only, so it was taken with the C-Star S50 Smart Telescope. It's about almost an hour's worth of integration time, 10-second long exposures for almost an hour. And that's about it, I think.
The cocoon's a planetary nebula.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the dwarf?
No, it's I don't think so.
It's emission?
It's an emission nebula, yeah, from it has some new star formation.
Somebody Google it, fact check us real quick.
Difference between planetary and mission? Does anyone? Okay, sorry.
I think this is more a stellar nursery. I could be wrong. I might be wrong.
Planetary nebula is a star that's gone through its life cycle, expanded, contracted, and left basically a ring, the ring nebula,
Okay.
planetary nebula. Okay, so there's
So it's not.
basically a white dwarf in the middle of it.
Got it.
Actually, it's not really even an emission nebula, but a nursery nebula
So it's
is where
being-
star forming
Got
is happening.
Yeah.
And those are either emission and or reflective,
Reflect. Those are
because
the-
they're both emitting and reflecting
Okay.
lights, and they're really not a difference between those.
So they're the same.
So emission and reflecting nebulas basically the same thing. I mean, they're,
It's listed as a reflection emission nebula,
yeah,
according to Wikipedia.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's gas and
It
dust.
needs to be-
So you got baby stars in that one.
Because I thought that was too bright to be a white drawer
It's nursery
in the
and
middle.
the old folks' home.
of it, so. Hello, Karen, thanks for joining. Okay, then next slide, if you would, please, Eric. You all have heard about our purchase and pre-ordering of the T-shirts. And so the society bylaws require that before we make any expenditure that's in our not in our normal budget, we publicize it in the newsletter, which it was in August, and we take a vote at the subsequent meeting. So that's tonight. So we're going to ask the membership to approve $700 as the expenditure. We have it in our treasury. That $700 will be reimbursed, paid back to the club through the sale of the T-shirts, which we have all pre-ordered. So we're going to do a simple show of hands. First, I'm going to do those in the room, and then I'll look to the Zoom. If you folks want to vote, you have to turn your cameras on or some other way of identifying your vote. So,
Or click the little raise hand option.
Zoom hand.
yeah, Zoom hand would be fine. One vote per family. And I think we're all here, members in good standing. Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong. So I'll ask for those in the room first to all in favor of approving this expenditure, raise your hand.
Only one voting.
Unanimous in the room.
Let the record show there were 7 in the room voting yes. Any no's in the room? I don't think so. That's all unanimous. And then online on Zoom, if you raise your hand, if you vote yes, Jerry and James, I see your vote. Thank you very much. And anybody opposed on Zoom? Very good. Okay, so we've got 9-0 in favor of the approval. So thank you all for that. Doug, you got to go to
Order some shirts.
order some shirts. Okay, next slide, please, Eric. Every November, we have elections for the following year. And I don't know if you all knew that the current board of officers for the society we are all from another universe. Yeah, we're from another, you've heard of multiverses? Well, We're from another, one of these multiverses, and it just so happens that come January, the alignment of this universe and our universe align such that we will have to migrate back through the wormhole and will not be able to serve as officers anymore. Yeah, so that leaves the society in a real dilemma with our absence. And so we're looking for folks, preferably of this universe, to serve as officers. So the requirements are really simple. A member of good standing. And we talked about this the other night. Really, the time commitment is pretty basic. We have a executive club meeting once a month on the first Thursday of every month. And it's usually an hour and a half to 2 hours long, where we do club business and we make plans and we discuss a lot of the upcoming programs. Just, rolling up our sleeves and talking amongst each other and getting work done. So that's why I said, if you were interested, it's basically a 2-hour commitment. Now your commitment in time could grow from that depending on what other activities you take on. So any questions about that? We're going to be looking to get volunteers. We'll please contact me if you're interested. If you're not interested, I may contact you. So we're looking for new ideas, new participation. We've got a great board, a great bunch of folks we work with. So anyway, I just wanted to let you all know that our elections are coming up.
Question for you.
Hey, James, go ahead.
If I volunteer to do some of this work, would I be able to connect in via Zoom to the board meetings?
That's how we do it.
Yep,
Ins-
our board
instead
meetings
of-
are always only on Zoom. And now that
Ah.
you've mastered the technology of Zoom, you'd be great at it. So yeah, James, we'd love to have you if you're interested. Drop me an email, or I'll reach out to you here soon.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Doug is filling up his third cup of popcorn. Second, okay. And if we go to the next slide, I'll turn the yes. Go ahead.
Do you know if that photo was taken the night you guys were there at the Highway 4?
No, that's from Ray. He might.
Oh,
Right, I mean, but you said Ray was there that night.
yeah.
Ray
My
was not-
apologies.
Ray wasn't at home.
No,
No, not that, or Highway 4.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
Yes.
I wasn't there.
Oh,
thank you, Casey. I meant to give Ray photo credit. Ray, if you want to come off of mute and talk about your photo, but Ray took this the previous Saturday, which would have been what, the July 27th, at Highway 4. Yeah, through his new Origin Smart Scope.
Wow.
So, yeah, mhm. And yeah, I even enlarged this for this, and you can still see the great resolution and quality of the photo. So, okay, with that, Eric, if you flip to the next slide, I'll let Doug